2.5 years ago, I stood up here in the Stadium Club in front of these same cameras and a room full of people, mostly MSU boosters, obviously, and I laid out an agenda for Bobcat football. And that agenda promised improved academic performance, more responsible campus and community behavior, and continued success on the football field. Today, consider the status of Montana State football. Big Sky Conference champions, FCS playoffs, victors over our rivals to the west. APR issues are a thing of the past. News stories of misbehavior have been replaced by news stories of community service and achievement. Ground has been broken for a tremendous stadium improvement, and a football player who happens to be president of the student body presided over that groundbreaking ceremony, by the way. The recruiting class we're announcing today is a reflection of the position that this football program has at this time. We had unprecedented success in obtaining commitments from our top players on the board. We even had to turn away several players because of the rapid rate of commitments. We signed our top player on the board at virtually every position, and at the only position where we were looking for numbers, which was in the offensive line, we hit the jackpot, and we answered our needs for both quality and depth. The reason for this recruiting success is because of the things I just talked about, the tremendous positive momentum right now for Montana State football, plus the amazing team feeling that our players demonstrated to these recruits when they visited the campus. Our players are our best recruiters, and their descriptions and stories of what it's like to play football at Montana State was both compelling and irresistible. Our prospects decided that now is the time and this is the place, to quote a famous Bobcat by the name of Sonny Holland, and they made their commitments early, and then they held on strongly as we survived the January home stretch without any defections whatsoever. Perhaps the most exciting thing today is the number of Montana players that we signed from right here in our home state. That was another part of my agenda when I came here in 2007 that we've lived up to in dramatic fashion, where we said we would build our program with Montana players first, and we've done that. Over 50% of our team is from Montana, and 50% of this class is from Montana. We have 11 scholarship high school Montana players in this class. 11 players. We also brought in 2 Montana players at the semester for a total of 13, and we're not finished yet. We're still continuing to work in the state to conclude our recruiting class. I thought last year's number of 8 Montana guys on scholarship would be an all-time record, but obviously we blew that away this year. Out of state, the big news is the emergence of California as the leader in signees with 5 high school players and 1 transfer, Stephen Memory, who already is here, joining the team compared to just 2 high school players and 1 transfer, Trey Robinson, who's already here from Texas, which had previously been our out-of-state leader. So we've got more diversity in our out-of-state class, but the key about it is that each of those guys that signed out-of-state was a top player on our board regardless of where they came from. A couple of other exciting things and news about this class. Several of these players turned down opportunities to play at football bowl subdivision schools this year, which is a first for us to be able to beat schools at the level above us for recruiting commitments. We beat the following schools on players: Princeton, New Mexico State, Army, Nevada, Las Vegas, Texas State, North Texas, Idaho, and Colorado State, just to mention a few that were seriously interested in our players, gave them offers and visits in most cases, and instead they chose Montana State. Many other players in this class had FCS offers. That was another thing that we talked about when we first got here in 2007. Can we find high school players who will come here and play for us at Montana State who can help win championships in the Big Sky Conference? Can we win those recruiting battles for those players? Okay? We didn't have to dodge around and find somebody who was academically suspect or somebody who was not wanted or long shot, not being recruited by other schools. We recruited guys in this class that had offers. They had offers in state, they had offers from FCS schools out of state, in their home state, and we won those recruiting battles. So when you're winning recruiting battles, then you know you're recruiting the right players. Finally, I want to make a comment about the academic profile of this class. We have 13 players on this team that have on this recruiting class that have over a 3.0 high school grade average. These guys are smart, they're good students. Getting Matthew Devereaux to choose Montana State over Princeton ought to tell you that the academic priority is pretty obvious here at Montana State. But we have 3 players that have 3.9 GPA or higher in their high school class, and that would be Matt Devereaux, Jake Bleskin, and Trace Timmer. And then, as I said, a total of 13 guys that have over a 3.0. So they're not only good football players, but they're good students in the classroom, and I'm sure they'll continue to live up to the 3 prongs of success that we articulated when we got here in 2007.